Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal star could be tempted to make £50 million move to top four rivals. Emile Smith Rowe could reportedly be tempted to make a high-profile switch from Arsenal to Aston Villa. Unai Emery's side is flying high in the Premier League as they currently sit in fourth place after their draw with Bournemouth on Sunday. Although many expected them to falter the longer the season went on due to their congested fixture list in Europe, they have coped tremendously well. Emery will be looking to add to his squad in the January transfer window and could potentially turn to a player that he brought through at one of his previous clubs. Smith Rowe has struggled to maintain a spot in Mikel Arteta's Arsenal squad over the past season and a half, mainly because of recurring injuries. According to transfer expert Dina Jones via Give Me Sport, the English midfielder could be tempted by a move to Villa. He said, Smith Rowe to Villa would be an interesting one to test out because he is still not getting a look in at Arsenal. He could look across at Villa and think it's pretty exciting. He could be a bigger part of it there than at the Emirates. But Jones maintains that the player is currently adamant that he wants to remain at Arsenal and fight for his place. AC Milan in hot pursuit of Arsenal's £20 million man. AC Milan are reportedly preparing to sign Arsenal centre-back Jakub Kiwior in the upcoming January transfer window, despite the Gunners securing the 23-year-old talent for £20 million from Spezia last January. Kiwior has seen limited action, making mostly cameo appearances off the bench in 10 games across all competitions this season. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta appears committed to the centre-back pairing of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, making it challenging for Kiwior to secure a regular spot. Additionally, Kiwior's ability to play as a left-back faces competition from Zinchenko in the Arsenal squad. For him to fulfill his potential, gaining regular playing time is crucial, making a move away from the Emirates in January potentially the best development path for him. Italian outlet Calciomercato reports that AC Milan has shown an interest in bringing Kiwior back to Serie A, closely monitoring the defender over the past few weeks. AC Milan faces defensive challenges with several players sidelined due to injuries, prompting manager Stefan Piolo to seek two new centre-backs in the January transfer window. This is a move that benefits all parties. Arsenal cannot guarantee the Polish international game time, however, they still want him to progress. In contrast, Milan are in desperate need of centre-backs, so a Serie A return for Kiwior could be the best scenario in January. Arsenal set to let 31-year-old midfielder leave on a free transfer. Arsenal are reportedly considering allowing Jorginho to leave the club when his contract expires at the end of the season. Joining from rivals Chelsea on last January's deadline day, Jorginho, 31-year-old, who cost just £12 million, was viewed as a shrewd short-term midfield signing. However, following the impactful acquisition of Declan Rice from West Ham United in the summer, as well as Kai Havertz's new playmaking role, Mikel Arteta has been forced to reduce Jorginho's playing time. Starting in just 4 Premier League games this season, the Italian, who is now far from regular, is reportedly set to leave the Emirates next summer. That's according to a recent report from Football Insider, who claims Arsenal and the 31-year-old are both leaning toward an exit. The former Chelsea man, who has never hidden his desire to play in Italy again, is expected to return to Serie A before he considers retirement. Clubs, including Napoli, have been heavily linked in the past, although it's unknown if President Aurelio De Laurentiis remains interested in his former midfielder. During his time with Arsenal, Jorginho, who has a one-year contract extension option included in his deal, has scored 1 and assisted 1 in 32 games in all competitions. Arsenal don't need to waste £45 million next summer. 20-year-old star is now ready to shine. With Arsenal now often linked with a high profile midfielder ahead of January and next summer, the solution may already be at the club. Arsenal are now regularly credited with interest in a progressive passing defensive midfielder, such as their situation with Thomas Partey, also in the world's elite. It's now well evidenced that Mikel Arteta simply can't rely on Partey to avoid injury for long period, and given Declan Rice has often been used as a number 8 this season, that has led to the thought that Arsenal need reinforcement in their pivot. But having proved his world class level in back to back performances as a 6, it's clear that Arsenal need to strengthen elsewhere. The role that Granit Xhaka vacated is the issue, and Charlie Patino could be the answer. Patino scored a quite brilliant late goal for Swansea City, one that can be seen in Sky Sports highlight, and given the steady progress the 20-year-old is now making out on loan, Arsenal shouldn't pay £45 million for a midfielder like Ruben Neves, one they have been linked to in January. There is internal solutions for Arsenal, and Patino's emergence would be hugely popular with fans. Of course, fan happiness doesn't win football games, but Patino's growing potential could. The midfielder looks perfect for Arsenal at the number 8, a player who could dovetail with the likes of Trossard and Kai Havertz. And also, there still might be the temptation to upgrade on Jorginho as Rice's backup on the assumption that Partey may leave. Patino does solve an issue. It would seem well advised for Arsenal to assess their midfield situation next summer rather than January. Mikel Arteta could then fully assess Patino's improvement, a player whose Arsenal future seems right in the balance. If Arsenal commit to their young star, that will probably involve a new contract and serious first team minutes. However, if there are any doubts on Arteta's side, Patino should be allowed to move on. It's a delicate situation, but there should be a clear path for Patino at Arsenal should he continue to impress. Pep Guardiola reacts to Manchester City controversy versus Tottenham. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has used the example of Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta to make a point about the controversy against Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. Guardiola has said that he is not going to go on a rant like Arsenal manager Arteta did. In injury time, Emerson Royal committed a foul on Erling Haaland. The Norway international striker could still chip a pass to Jack Grealish. Grealish seemed to have a clear run on goal, but referee Simon Hooper then decided to blow the whistle for the foul. He had played the advantage when Haaland found his City teammate. The City players were furious, but manager Pep Guardiola has refused to get drawn into it in public. Guardiola has said that he is not going to go on a rant like Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta did after the match against Newcastle United. Arteta did not hold his emotions and slammed the referees, with Arsenal also releasing a statement backing their manager. Guardiola told Sky Sports when asked about the late controversy. Next question, I will not do a Mikel Arteta comment. It's hard when you review the image, the referee decides to blow the whistle after he has already said to play on, after the pass, the whistle, so I do not understand this action. It was a good game, that is the most important thing. It was a pity, same as the Liverpool game. I had the feeling that today we made an incredible performance in all departments against a really good team and manager and how they play. We created a lot of chances. We were aggressive, incredibly concentrated, and the feeling is that we still want to be there at the top of the table. It's a pity. Sometimes football is like life. You do not get what you deserve. Arsenal line up a January move for €24 million Bundesliga forward. Arsenal are looking to improve their attacking option with the signing of Benjamin Sesko during the January transfer window. A report from Vigaches, which is a very low source, claims that Mikel Arteta wants to bring in a quality striker midway through the season, and the Gunners are looking at the Bundesliga striker as a potential option. The 20-year-old has done reasonably well for RB Leipzig, despite not getting regular game time with them this season. The striker has 6 goals in 18 appearances across all competition. He has not been able to play regularly because of the splendid form of his teammate Loa Openda. It will be interesting to see if Sesko can force his way into the starting lineup in the coming weeks. The 24 million euros Slovenian striker is highly rated around Europe and he has a bright future ahead of him. He has the attributes to develop into a top class goal scorer, and a move to Arsenal could be an attractive option for him. If the Gunners can promise him ample game, the 20-year-old could be attracted to the idea of playing for them. A move to the Premier League can be quite tempting for any player, and Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs in the world. The Gunners have Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia at their disposal. However, they are missing a prolific goal scorer, and Sesko certainly has the potential to develop into a reliable striker for the North London Giants. Title winner will be allowed to join Newcastle, though he prefers Arsenal. Newcastle United are front-runners to sign Calvin Phillips from Manchester City in January, in the separate need of a replacement for Sandro Tonali after the Italian playmaker was found guilty of illegal betting activity while playing for Milan. Eddie Howe is believed to have identified Phillips as his ideal mid-season target. Newcastle aren't alone in pursuit of the out-of-favour City midfielder though. Liverpool, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham, Borussia Dortmund, and Juventus are also in the race. However, according to recent report, the former Leeds star has a preference to link up with England teammate Declan Rice at Arsenal. Nevertheless, with Arsenal quite well stocked in the defensive midfield department, Mikel Arteta's Gunners are not being linked with a January move. Newcastle and a move to James Park is very much on the cards though, and with Phillips desperate to remain in Gareth Southgate's plans for next summer's Euros, ensuring regular game time will be at the top of his agenda. 27-year-old representatives in touch with Arsenal and Manchester United regarding January transfer. Stuttgart striker Serhou Guirassy has been linked with the move away from the club, and his representatives are confident of sealing a Premier League move in January. A report from 90 Minute claims that clubs like Arsenal and Manchester United have been alerted to the striker's availability, and his representatives have been in contact with the Premier League clubs regarding a potential move. It remains to be seen whether the Gunners decide to make a move for Guirassy in the coming weeks. They could certainly use more depth in the attacking department. Gabriel Jesus has been a quality signing for them, but he is not a prolific goal scorer. Guirassy could add a new dimension to the Arsenal attack. He has 16 goals across all competitions this season, and the striker would be available for a fee of around £15.2 million. He has a £15.2 million release clause in his contract, and the clubs will be able to sign him for a nominal fee in January. Meanwhile, Manchester United need to add more attacking depth to the side as well. Guirassy is a proven goal scorer in the Bundesliga, and he could take over the goal scoring responsibility at the Emirates or at Old Trafford in the short term. It will be interesting to see which of the two clubs decide to trigger his release clause in the coming weeks. Favorable payment terms could see Arsenal target €40 million ace next summer, says Romano. A reasonably cheap release clause and favorable payment terms is likely to tempt Mikel Arteta into trying to secure Jeremy Frimpong for Arsenal next summer. The player, as with many of his colleagues, is enjoying a stunning campaign under Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen. At present, they remain top of the Bundesliga table ahead of Bayern München, another club apparently interested in Frimpong's services. Fabrizio Romano, writing in his exclusive daily briefing for Count Offside, noted what a great opportunity this could be for Arsenal or any other interested club to secure Frimpong's services. He said, Jeremy Frimpong has scored 5 goals and distributed 7 assists at the start of what's turning into a great season for him and for Bayer Leverkusen. His contract does have a release clause of 40 million euros with favorable payment terms, so there is a real opportunity for clubs to acquire this right back. He is doing very well, and many clubs already have him in their sights. This is why, from what I'm hearing, a move in the summer transfer window is very likely. It's also important to say that the release clause is not valid in January, only in the summer. Arsenal have been tracking him for a long time, the same with Bayern, and both clubs are very well informed on the situation. Barcelona, before signing Joao Cancelo, had also been tracking Frimpong, but are now very happy with their current setup. Keep an eye on this one because this release clause could make this really interesting. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.